I've been playing Mina the Hollower. It's pretty good. Let's talk about it over some lunch. Whoa. So yeah, Mina the Hollower. Yeah, really enjoying it, really digging it so far. It's got a good bit of challenge. The difficulty curve is a little strict in the beginning for sure. Enough to be off-putting because I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of think about, I wouldn't say dropping it, like it wasn't about to break me or anything like that, but it was definitely like, man, this game is just not letting up because you're trying to learn so many different things. You're trying to learn the level design. Like I just died. How do I get back to where I was? There's a lot of things you have to get past, you know, and it also does the thing that I see a lot in a lot of Souls games with interconnected worlds where you have sort of the choice to kind of pick the direction you want to go in and what you want to tackle first, and that you can choose wrong. You can go in the wrong direction. And by the wrong direction, I mean, it's really not wrong if you want to, you know, take on that challenge, but you can kind of go in the direction where there's the harder enemies there, and maybe not even really realize it because you're not as familiar with the world and you don't know. Well, if you go to the east, to the crypt first, then that's kind of more so what you should do as your first dungeon. When you're just, you know, instead you go to the west and you're getting just rocked by all these enemies. You haven't learned, you know, the mechanics and the timings of being able to burrow and how the burrowing mechanic is really your version of dodge. That's a really key combat mechanic you have to learn. And again, you don't know the level design. You don't know, it's difficult for you to even, you know, get back to your body to collect your sparks after you've died. So those things combined can be off-putting in the opening hours. But I will say definitely once you get at least one dungeon and a couple upgrades under your belt, like upgrading your health and your defense and your attacks, it becomes easier. It definitely becomes a lot easier to the point where, you know, I'm maybe 3 dungeons in, I believe. I think my clock time is maybe 12 or 13 hours so far. And the difficulty isn't coming from the combat. You know, I've got multiple weapons. I'm using the OP shield a lot, which is definitely OP. Like you can kind of turtle back and like, you know, take a few hits and stuff like that. And you can sort of like just kind of face tank a lot of bosses and things like that as it is right now. But it's definitely something that the difficulty definitely starts to level out. I wouldn't say it's like the easiest thing at this point, but there's still definitely some challenging moments, some challenging combat sections, some challenging platforming sections. But like with the different trinkets and stuff that you've got and all the health upgrades and stuff, like it's not as difficult, nowhere near as difficult as it was in the beginning, honestly. Again, I wouldn't call it a cakewalk at this point, but I would say the difficulty is definitely leveled out. Speaking of combat, shout out to the battery buster too. The battery buster is pretty slick. I've been using it a little bit, and yeah, I mean, it's basically kind of 2 weapons in one. Like it's a short sword, but then you kind of use the short sword, hit enemies to charge up your buster piece of it, I guess, and basically just turns to like a Mega Man blaster, where you got like 8 shots or so and you can just like blast enemies like with projectiles from a good distance away. Super fun to use. I like it a lot. Like it seems like Yacht Club really tried to include like a variety of different weapons to suit a variety of different play styles, and that's neat. And the last thing I'll say about it is just in the level design. Like obviously, not obviously, because not every game is really good at doing this, but it does have this really cool interconnected world design where you'll come out of a manhole or something like that, or some hole in the ground, or come down some ladder, and it's like, oh, this is the place that I started at. This is this area, and this connects to this. So it's super cool in that way of kind of making that self-discovery and making the world feel together and whole and cohesive. And it's just really neat. The other thing about it is that the world is just littered with cool things to do. Like it's almost like I think about the old Mario games that are kind of level based. You go to level 1-1 and then 1-2 and then 1-3, and all of them kind of have like these different, slightly different mechanics or different plays on things. It's almost like I could kind of see Mina broken down in that way. It's obviously not as structured in that way, but every nook and cranny seems like it's got something in it to challenge some reflex or some sort of challenge room or something like that. Like it's every inch of it almost has some area to find, and there's going to be a treasure chest on the other side of the room, and you've got to figure out how to get through these gaps or bypass these pits with these spikes and these pitfalls and things like that. Or you've got to find a key to get back in order to do that. Like every part of the game is just filled with these things, which also makes me thankful for the map that's not a map system, where you can upgrade your map and it will show you the sections of the game and your completion percentage, like how many of the different keys you found and different artifacts and trinkets and things that you found inside those areas. So I could really see going back and trying to kind of farm and clean up some of those things with more upgrades or when you're kind of getting close to the end. So far though, it's been a fantastic game. Mina the Howler is really good because it feels like the developers that developed it really knew what they were trying to make. It feels like they really understood the assignment, and it feels like they're lovers of old school Zelda and difficult Soulsborne games and things like that, and they really knew how to make the thing they were trying to make. It's filled with a just fantastic mixture of elements that's just a joy to interact with. At the end of the day, that's what it is. It never stops surprising me. That's it.